So when the DSLR revolution hit back in 2009, 2010, a lot of companies started making gear for these new cameras. You had stuff from Zacuto, Red Rock Micro, Lettuce Direct, and it was all really well made, but it was also out of my budget. So I was more of a Jag 35 or this Chinese seller on eBay person. Nowadays, there's way more options for affordable camera gear and rigging components. One of the companies I keep coming back to is Smallrig, and so I wanted to just kind of do an overview of my 5 favorite Smallrig products. So the first one is this top plate for the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K and 6K. I've never liked cages. Cages are big and bulky, and I'm trying to keep my rig small. I don't want a big, heavy, bulky rig when I'm trying to do run-and-gun filmmaking. So this top plate is awesome. You get 2 cold shoe mounts, you get a NATO rail, you get tons of 1/4-20 and 3/8 threads. You even get a 15mm rod mount, so you can add like a follow focus to your rig without needing a big base plate with rods. This keeps my rig really nice and compact and small, and I love that. My next favorite piece of Smallrig gear is their Multitool. I really love this thing. This is so handy when you're on set. I used to just always carry a multi-tool on me like a Leatherman, and I always would have to bring more stuff. And this is everything you need and nothing you don't. So you've got a bunch of hex screws because some companies decide to be difficult and use hex screws. So I can use this for taking plates off my camera, for tightening my tripod or light stand. It's got a Phillips head screwdriver. It's got a flathead, which is the perfect size for putting on and taking off quick release plates. And then it even has screw storage. So you can store your screws right on the side and not have to worry about losing anything. And then it even comes with this neat little pouch. And this thing takes up no space. It's so easy to bring. Everything you need, nothing you don't. I love their multi-tool. My next favorite piece of gear from Smallrig is their offset plate kit for the Blackmagic Pocket 4K and 6K. If you've ever tried to mount the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera to a Ronin, you know the screw is in a weird place, and so getting it to fit on here is a pain because it's going to hit that side motor. The way this works is that there's a plate that goes right on the bottom of your camera, and then they even give you a little magnet screwdriver for tightening down the plate, and it just sticks on there with magnets, which I love. That is so convenient. I wish more people would do that. And then you just mount the receiver to your plate. Your camera slides on, and now you can adjust this left or right however you need. Lock it down, and it lets you balance your Blackmagic camera on the Ronin S. You can use it on other gimbals as well, but that's what it was made for, was the Ronin S. And I just love how convenient this is. It's so well thought out. So their offset plate kit for the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera. My next favorite piece of gear from Smallrig is their universal SSD holder. When I'm shooting on my Blackmagic, I pretty much always record exclusively to SSDs. It's just so much more convenient. And with this, you can mount it vertically, so I can put it right on the side of my rig, right over my rail, and it stays out of the way of everything. You can mount it on the bottom and have it flat on top of your rig. You can even take the cold shoe mount off and just bolt it directly to a cage or your rig. I love things that are universal. I don't like when things are product specific or manufacturer specific. A lot of people use the Samsung T5 drive, and they make SSD holders specifically for the T5. And that's great, but the T5 is now discontinued. So what happens if you need to buy more drives and can't find any? That can really cause a problem for you. With it being universal, I can use any SSD here. I'm not limited to one specific kind of drive. Whatever drive I need to use, I can pop in here. I like gear that's universal because it gives me more freedom and flexibility. And then my absolute favorite piece of gear from Smallrig is their 2-in-1 audio bracket. And so the way this works is you can mount 2 microphones here, and it'll put 1 mic on the left channel and 1 mic on the right, and then it goes right on your cold shoe. So I can take something like a shotgun mic, throw that on one channel, take a wireless receiver, put that on the other channel, and now I can record 2 separate microphones on my camera, and then this just goes right on top and doesn't really take up any space. It's super small. One other neat thing about this bracket is if you use something like the Rode Wireless Go, it mounts it vertically, so it makes it easier to see the screen when it's on top of your camera. For the longest time, I was using this Ceremonic mixer, and this is the same kind of deal where it would go on top of your camera, and it would put 1 microphone on the left channel and 1 microphone on the right channel. This one will give you trim control, so you can set different levels for each mic, and then it has 3 brackets, so you can mount things either on the top or on the sides. You could also plug in 1 mic into the stereo input, and this will bracket your audio so you can have a safety track. What I've never liked about this mixer though is this cold shoe mount isn't the most secure. It would constantly come loose on me while I'm filming, and then this would just fall off my rig from time to time. So I was constantly retightening this to make sure it was secure. And then the other thing is this mic doesn't pass through plug-in power. So if you have a mic that is powered through plug-in power from your camera, it's not going to work with this. You can only use self-powered microphones with this. With the Smallrig, that's not an issue. You can use plug-in powered mics with this Smallrig and it works just fine. I have 2 of these and they're always on set with me. I love how small and convenient this thing is. So this is my favorite piece of gear from Smallrig. It's their 2-in-1 audio bracket.